GB says, it's cowboy time, 10 to 10, 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 to 10. The lady who's bought this dress has shared her story with me. Wow, that is most certainly the smell of spring. This is one of my favourite dresses. Come with me. And the moral of the story is, think twice.
Thank you, bye.
Quick sneaky peek in the window. I love getting home. I'm going to prove to you that it is different, but you can never have enough, can you? Good morning, welcome back. I hope you are well this week and that you've got a super cozy drink and you are at home and ready to settle in, because today we have got a sunny, you probably can see that on the shadow there on the wall, a sunny but chilly late winter's vlog. I do remember when we came to look round this apartment and the window, the arch window, the iconic arch window sold it to us. And one of the things I didn't realise was the connections that I would have throughout the time of the day. Dramatic shapes appear on the wall and then it moves around the room, ending up over on our back wall. It's amazing how GB and I tune into the time of the day purely by where our shadow is. I suppose it's a little bit like our own sundial. It is gorgeous, and for us it's such an iconic part of our home. On the back walls I also have arch mirrors, and you can see here the reflection of the shadow in the mirror. You'll notice that I have a very symmetrical room, and the mirrors themselves reflect the plants, they reflect the shadows on the walls, and it almost creates another picture in itself. Do you have favourite light and shadow areas at yours? Maybe somewhere in the kitchen in the evening or the garden, somewhere where when you look at it, it just means home to you. If you do, I would love to know. You can always send me a picture over on Instagram, send me an email, or just describe it to me in the comments. It's a little bit later on in the morning than I would normally start a vlog. It's 10 to 10. As GB says, it's cowboy time, 10 to 10, 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 to 10 to 10. That's just one of the little jokes that I have to put up with in my life. Today I am starting the vlog a little bit later than I normally do. So I have been up early this morning teaching. It's currently half term in England. Well, for most places, children have got a break from school. So I have been working with lots of families this morning with my Family Fun Phonics business. I'm sure most of you know this by now, but I am an independent early years advisor and trainer who specialises in phonics and the way that children learn to read. Family Fun Phonics, the business that I set up in 2015, really does work like magic, and the children enjoy it so much that quite often I'm very, very busy during like a school holiday break. So I was up early this morning teaching, but I do have the rest of the day for myself. But right now I've got my ironing board out, which means that I am switching from Family Fun Phonics business over to my vintage dress business. And I have probably one of the most iconic vintage dresses that I have ever owned. It has sold to a lovely lady. The dress has got some history and I cannot wait to share this one with you. This is the dress that I am talking about, a 1980s vintage Laura Ashley black velvet with blue taffeta skirt section. This is one of the most iconic vintage Laura Ashley dresses that was designed in the 80s. And that is because Laura Ashley, as most of you will know, was very much known for midi to mid-calf length dresses, not really dresses above the knee. So when this was released, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on, but when this was released, it was a really, really big deal, and lots of women wanted to get their hand on it. And you can see why, because it fits the body so well, perfect for dancing. Because of the knitted underskirt, it means that the dress has got a lot of material to sway and dance. I'm just going to start by ironing the sleeves. The dress has had a good iron already, just making sure that everything is in pristine condition. for the customer. There's just a few little extra bits I just want to make sure that I've ironed out on the skirt section. Taffeta is very much back, and a lot of people worry about wearing taffeta because of the care that it takes to look after it. Wash it as normal, maybe a 30 max. When it comes out of the machine, you will look at it and think, oh my goodness, it is incredibly creased. It will be. Iron it straight away. A really, really hot iron, lots of steam, and honestly, it comes up a dream. Do not let the care of taffeta ever stop you from wearing it. It really is quite easy to look after. This dress itself has a lot of fabric around the waist, and just to get right into those creases, I will pop it onto the ironing board and lift up the dress at the waist and move my iron right up into those creases. You can see that I get very excited about these dresses. The collection in the shop remains absolutely stunning. I think I'm probably busier now than I have ever been before. I'm almost to the situation where the dresses are going faster than I can restock them. I've got a huge restock coming up. Lots of vintage Laura Ashley 80s and 90s dresses, a few Liberty dresses as well. But when I lose a dress like this one from the collection, I'm always on the hunt for another one. And I think I've got my hands on another one of these, but in the Christmas red. I'll bring the camera up so that you can really see just how beautiful this fabric is. You've got to imagine lights on the dress moving, the dress swaying, and just how the light will bounce off the fabric. Just look at that fabric. Isn't it just gorgeous? You can really see there how it's reflecting in the light. Just stunning. The customers receive the very best of vintage care. Every dress is so lovingly prepared for them. I make sure that every single speck is removed from the dress. I also wish the dress very well onto its next part of history. When a dress leaves the collection, there's this happy time because I always think the dress is going to live on. There's going to be lots of happy memories. The person that receives the dress has bought it for a reason. The lady who's bought this dress has shared her story with me. She explained that her mum used to own this in the same colour, exactly the same style, when she was in her 20s. And the daughter, the lady who's bought the dress, has been on the hunt for this for such a long time. And I know it would have been a long hunt, because when you are looking for a particular Laura Ashley design from the past, you've got lots of things to consider. The quality, the colour, the size, is there any repairs, what condition the dress is in, is it affordable? There's so many boxes to tick, and she was absolutely delighted when she saw this dress. She bought it straight away, and she is going to surprise her mum with this. And it makes me feel so happy that I can bring this joy to a family that does mean so much, because this is a very special dress. Every dress is again wrapped so beautifully. My box, my tissue paper, in goes the dress. Ensure the ribbons they're ready. Well, another stunning dress ready for a lovely customer over in Scotland this time. Hoping that the postman won't be too long, so I've got to wait in for him. I think there's enough time just to grab some delicious breakfast. I'm going to sit in front of the arch window, grab my laptop. I've got a little bit of admin work to do. Whilst I'm doing that, I thought you may like to see a little bit more about the history of this iconic vintage Laura Ashley dress. Then later on in the morning, I have got another dress story to share with you. This second dress is a personal dress to me. It has history. There's a lot of emotion involved in this dress. And let's just say, I never thought I would see it again.
Look at the weather, cloudy for large parts of England and Wales today. Some wintry showers over the Scottish hills. Rain will push into the west by the afternoon, highs of 13 degrees.
By the way, this is homemade granola. I made this on Monday. It is now Wednesday and it's all gone. This is the last helping. If you're interested to know how I made this, then it is on your last vlog. I'll pop a link up for you. It's delicious. There's a couple of tabs open there. This one is my Etsy shop called Seasonally Dressed. I'll pop a link in case you want to have a browse yourself. But if I just type into my search bar, Laura Ashley, you'll just see how much stock I have of Laura Ashley. So I've got children's wear, bags, vintage dresses. There is just so much vintage Laura Ashley. I've even got some of the homeware books. There's even more there. This is one of my favourite dresses, a dusky rose floral print, perfect for a wedding. So much fabric there. This bit here just shows that I am a star seller. Smooth dispatch, speedy replies and rave reviews. Something else that I'm super proud of is that I'm part of the Etsy pick selection. So items have been hand selected by style experts and they almost have this stamp of approval. This here is the dress that's sold. You can see how beautiful it is in the pictures. When I get a dress, I love to know a little bit more about its history. And it takes time to research the brand, research the label. So on my Pinterest page, again, it's the same business name, Seasonally Dressed. I use this to sort of collect my items. And what I've managed to do here is create a catalogue worth of the dresses as seen in their day. Now, if I find 1988, where is 1988? Can we see that? Here it is. This is the year that that blue Laura Ashley dress came out. So you can see the styles of that day. Have you spotted the dress yet? This is why the dress is so special. It made the Laura Ashley Christmas 1988 front cover edition. They also created it in the mother and child dresses there. So you've got the toddler one and then a child's dress as well as the adult dress. Now this catalogue here goes for a lot of money. I wish I had the catalogue. Shall we see if it is available on Etsy? So let's just see if it is available for sale. Vintage Laura Ashley 1988. Christmas. So my stock comes up. There's a 1985 catalogue there at £149. This catalogue here is very rare. I have seen this one. What year is this? It was sold in the shop for 75 pence and it's now going for £101. So you can see the value in the brand. This is me here coming up. That is an absolutely stunning vintage Laura Ashley dress. One of my absolute favourites, and I have showcased this before. Love the tapestry design. This, I think I've got the catalogue here. This is the dress as seen in the catalogue. So you can see that there's a lot of research that goes into each dress. One of the things that I love to share with the customers is a little bit of history, if I can, about the dress that they are buying. So for this customer, she explained that her mum had bought the dress in the 80s and she was around the age of 20. And I said to her that I've got the photograph of the dress as seen in the catalogue when she shares this dress with her mum, and she's able to just give a little bit more history to it, explaining that it was released in 1988 as part of the iconic Christmas collection. It featured on the front of the Christmas catalogue. I mean, having a vintage Laura Ashley dress that featured on the front of a catalogue is so rare these days. I just know that those little extra details about the dress and the history of that frock will mean so much to the family. I'm going to crack on with just a little bit more work. I've got a few orders and things like that to sort out, and then I have got my own dress story to share with you. Wow, that is most certainly the smell of spring. I have loved having spring bulbs around, particularly the little yellow tete-a-tete daffodil bulbs. They just make the home feel ready for the new season. A few of them have dried off now, so I'm just going to dehead those. I must buy some more bulbs. They've looked lovely in the kitchen over the last couple of weeks. A few of them just need a little bit of deheading. This one in particular is stunning. Some of those little daffodil stems are really quite tall. I always love when you find one with a double head. Aren't they just so beautiful? This one here has got the double head. I feel like it's a little extra special spring treat. Well, I said I had a little dress story to share with you myself, and this story started 10 years ago. I would say almost to the day, although not quite. But 10 years ago, my best friend married the love of her life. They are still very much happily married, and it was a very special day. The vintage dress business hadn't started at this stage, and I was really primarily still shopping very much on the high street. And as you do, you buy dresses, you try them on, you try and find the most perfect dress that you're going to feel comfortable in the day, in the evening, dancing. So a dress arrived, absolutely stunning, and we had the most wonderful day. This picture here is of GB and I. It was taken by my sister at the reception, and I've always loved this photo because it signifies so much to me. It signifies a day that was really special, watching my best friend get married. The shape that GB and I are in the photograph is almost like a heart. So I wore the dress and I absolutely loved it. Cream and navy lace. The dress itself had this wired, spirally netted section at the bottom, which held the dress in a fit and flare A-line way. The underneath of the dress was just as beautiful as looking at it face on or from the back. Some years went on, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I sold the dress. A dress that did really mean so much to me, but at a time in my life where I was trying to make space. It was a very bulky dress. I felt sad that I was selling that dress, but at the same time, like I do with all of my dresses, I felt it was somebody else's turn and that the dress needed to live on and make new memories. And circle around to this year, you'll know if you have caught up with the vlogs prior to this one, that GB and I went out on Valentine's Day and I wore an absolutely stunning 1980s, early 1990s black dress with a sequined band. It was absolutely beautiful and I loved wearing it. I felt super special in it. And GB loved that dress as he loves all of the dresses. So when GB and I were out for dinner, conversation just sort of naturally turned to dresses. And then we linked it back to how we've spent Valentine's or events that have happened around this time of year in the past. And he said to me, do you remember that dress that you wore to Lauren's wedding? And I said, yes, of course I remember that dress. And I knew exactly the one that he was talking about. When he looks back at all of the dresses that I've ever worn, and believe me, I've worn a lot. Anytime that we have an event, an occasion, a meal, I'm more often than not in a very special dress. But he said there was just something about that one that he loved. And my heart sank because I knew I did not have that dress anymore. And although it was a really special dress for me and I had made peace with the fact that I had sold it, although regretted it, I didn't realise that it was a dress that GB also loved. And my mind started thinking, I need that dress in my life. So I spent some time researching. I had completely forgotten the brand, where I'd bought the dress from. It was 10 years ago now. I could describe it, but didn't know anything else. Anyway, come with me. This is the dress. The right size, the right colour, brand new. This is the dress that GB loves so much. I'm looking that way because he's in the office today and the office is through there. This is the dress that I regretted selling all those years ago. I cannot tell you how happy I am that I have this back in my life. I absolutely love it and I will treasure this dress forever. I wore my hair up on that day 10 years ago and I think that's probably the right thing to do. Wearing your hair down with a dress like this just does nothing for the top section, but as soon as you lift your hair away, you can see the top section of the dress. Blue lace detail at the top, nice neckline, comes just capped sleeved very, very slightly. I am definitely somebody who needs a fit and flare type of dress. Something that will nip me in at the waist, but then have some body at the bottom. And I said about the beautiful underneath of this dress. Cannot wait to show you this. Here's the layered netted tulle section that I was telling you about with the spirals. Absolutely beautiful. It holds its shape so, so well. I'm absolutely delighted that I've got this back in my wardrobe. And do you want to know where I sourced it from and how much I paid for it? If you live in the UK, you'll know about this site. I'm not sure if you've got this anywhere else. Please do let me know. I'd be really, really interested. I know that we can ship to the UK, but I don't think we can ship internationally on this site. I found it on Vinted and I paid £15, including delivery. Still has its tag. It was sitting just here on the dress, but I took it off so that I could show you. I am never selling this dress again. Of course, I'll pop the details of this in the description, just in case you want to hunt one down as well. I love it. I think it also came in a champagne colour. I've been to a wedding where the bridesmaids were wearing the champagne version and they looked absolutely beautiful. And the moral of the story is, think twice before you sell something in your wardrobe, especially if you have worn it to a significant event, if it's very classic in design, if it's something that you may look back on and regret. There are lots of customers who buy dresses from the store because it is something that they owned in the past. There was this beautiful cerise red cotton bow back Laura Ashley dress, and the customer sent me a message to say she was absolutely delighted to have found it because she wore it in the early 1990s. And like me, she thought she'd never see it again. And she has, and she's got it back in her wardrobe. And she said, this is where the dress should be. This could have been one of those dresses that I realised later on in my life that I needed back in the wardrobe. But thankfully, it was only 10 years down the line, and I've been able to source it quite quickly because, as I say, it was over the Valentine's Day meal when we were together that GB mentioned it, and my heart started pounding for it again, and I've got it. I've managed to find it. Dress dreams can come true. If you've got something that's from your past that you think about, just start searching, because one day there might be a reconnection, and you can see it on my face. It's just made me so, so happy. And yes, GB has seen it on. He was working from home earlier on in the week. It arrived, I put it straight on and just walked into the office with a cup of coffee. He was very, very emotional. I think he didn't think he'd ever see me in this dress again. So it was meant to be. Well, I think it's probably time that I take the dress off now, considering it's 12 on a Wednesday afternoon and I have literally nowhere to be. So I'm going to go and get changed, and I'll see you in a minute. Plans for this afternoon are we are going to head out. We're going charity shopping. I think my last best charity shop find would be those stoneware mugs that I bought recently. Currently, one of them has daffodils in because why not? Daffodils seem to be in every single vessel I can possibly find at home at the moment. I also want to pop over to Tesco into the F&F clothing range. I recently bought a nightshirt and I've lived in it. I want to see if they've got any in different colourways, or possibly even repeat buying the same one. You know, when you find an item of clothing and it's constantly in the wash, I could really do with another one. Whilst we're out and about, I want to pick up a few little decorating bits. I've got an idea for over the next couple of weeks. I'll share that with you then, because the plan is not fully in my mind yet about what I need to do, but I would like to use up the rest of the paint. You know, we recently transformed the shoe cupboard. Well, I have quite a bit of paint left over and it's currently just sitting in the bathroom, and I don't want to throw it out and I don't want to store it either because I probably will end up never using it. So I want to pick up some decorating bits like rollers and that sort of thing, and also stop for a coffee. So come on, let's head out for the afternoon. Oh, it's a bit nippy outside, but not as cold as it has been. Let's see what the temperature is like. Sorry about that noise. 6 degrees. That's not too bad. It's probably better to go into town this way than that way. Up in the flower bed, the sun is up. Table set, we eat and drink. Body and bread, blood and wine. There's a time to live, time to die, and a time to be. Slow down and listen for a heartbeat. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye. just got back to the car after a little mooch around. It feels like the temperature's dropped slightly. Definitely feels chillier now than it did earlier, and almost that it's about to get dark. It's not actually that late on in the day. We're coming up towards 3 p.m. There wasn't loads out and about today. I did pick up one thing. I'll show you that when we're back home. But it was one of those items that I could have left, but I really felt like it's something that I can style up really well at home. But the person in front of me was trying to donate some furniture to the charity shop, and they have this online system. Anyway, the shop volunteer was trying to fill out this form, and then every 2 minutes said, "Oh, the form's gone back to the beginning again." So I decided that I would leave this home item and pick it up on the way back past. You won't believe this. As I was walking back into the shop, the same customer had just got in front of me with another item of furniture, was heading towards the till, and the same form process had to happen again. So I just thought, it's not meant to be. Walk out, Cher, walk out. So I did. I walked out. So as I walked back to the car, I had a quick sneaky peek in the window. I could see the home item that I was keen on getting. I had a quick glance over at the till. That customer that was there previously had now gone, so I went in and managed to buy it. But I'll share that with you when I get back. I also popped into Poundland and I managed to get hold of the paint rollers that I was saying about earlier, as well as some paintbrushes and some new kitchen scissors. They still have those white faux fur rugs that I bought, £12. I've styled mine on our bed in our main room and I love it. I did and ah about buying a second one because I thought they may look nice over the sofas, just to create a little bit of a hygge vibe. I keep thinking buy a second one, and then when I'm in the shop I think about my 3 words. Do I need it? Does it have a purpose? Do I want it? And the do I want it is always weighed up with the do I need it? Does it have a purpose? And it convinces me not to buy the second one. And every time I get home, I think, I wish I'd have picked it up. Depending on my hormones of the day that I am in the shop, whether I do pick one up or not. It's one of those items that I know I probably could style at home. I don't really need it, but it is something that would definitely make a great addition to the home. There were a few other little bits and pieces in Poundland that I liked, so I've taken a little bit of video footage for you. I did look at the Easter and spring things, but there was a lot of plastic, and I thought there's nothing there really that I would buy myself, and I wouldn't want to just take footage of anything. It has to be in the video for a reason. So here is what I liked in Poundland this week. Well, it's time for us to move on to the next destination. I'm just thinking about where to go next. I love an afternoon like this, when you don't really have a plan, but you know you're just out and about shopping and window shopping and just enjoying seeing what's in the shops. Let's see what the temperature is like now. Trying to turn off all the bleeping. Oh, it says 9. It's not 9. It feels colder than it was earlier. The car has just taken us over to B&M. It's really not far from town. I am heading towards Tesco, but it made sense just to stop here first, just to have a little mooch. If you're outside of the UK, B&M is a homeware, cleaning, decorating. It's like got a little bit of everything really. It's a shop that you go into and you end up buying things that you don't need. So I really do need to stay very restrained, but I love having a little look around. I do need to pick up some pillar candles for our lanterns, so I'll do that whilst I'm in there. I am wondering whether, do you know what I'm going to say? I'm wondering whether they have any different house plants. I do have 2 pots and they're just sitting in my pantry cupboard, just like empty, and I'm wondering if they've got any plants so that I can fill the pots. We'll see. Let's head in and just have a lovely little mooch. Wow, I haven't even gone into the store yet and I'm quite tempted by these primroses in this lovely cream. Thought they would look really nice along the balcony. But there's some lovely violet ones on there as well. Aren't they lovely? What do we think? That would be really nice, wouldn't it, to put some along the balcony? Oh, I think I'm going to have to get some of these. What shall we get? Quite like the violet colour. This is a good healthy one. Let's take those. That's one. Well, that's an unexpected purchase of the day. I think I'll go and buy these and then go back into the shop. Hiya! Let's have these, please. Some lovely little spring bits in. These are £3. I love the tulip one. Isn't that gorgeous? Again, £3. There's only one of those left. Lovely little tulip and a daisy. I've just noticed that they've got the bowls to match. Again, £3. And there's the daisy one. Isn't it lovely? I love the scalloped edge. I am very, very, very tempted by these gorgeous, gorgeous cushions. They're linen. They're £10 each. Rustic charm. Look at the edge. Oh, some lovely spring candles here. Spring tea towels there, £2.50. Floral joy. There's lots of scalloped edges around. These little baskets are £4. They also have a little scalloped tray here at £8. A little rustic charm scalloped tray at £4. Spring baskets in the middle there, £8. I recently treated us to this little cup candle at £4. A lovely little candle in a jar. I'd recycle the jar afterwards as well. The amber linen at £1.50. I don't know if you recognise this. I've recently planted some spring bulbs in there. They've got this available in the black and the off-white. I don't know how much they are though. I think I paid around £8, but I'm quite surprised they've got these in store. I keep seeing them online. They're £6. I am trying to resist all of the house plants. The little pots are all £3.50 each. And then down here, what have we got? I do have a couple of these at home. They grow quite big. At the moment, that looks like a little baby one, doesn't it? But it won't be long and that will overtake your home. Now, these look nice and healthy. I wouldn't be surprised if they've just come in. They're £12.50 each. I haven't got one of these at home. That one's even got a new shoot on it. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if they've just literally come in maybe today or yesterday. I'm actually quite tempted by this one. Looks really, really healthy. Do you remember when I went to the garden centre and I wondered what the little plant was that I bought in that tiny, tiny pot? Well, this is a larger version of it. I think I will need to be repotting my one quite soon. I think you may be able to see the problem here. I've picked up a houseplant, quite a large houseplant, bigger than the pot than what I was thinking, but I could not leave it. What's she doing? Okay, I thought lady was just going to go the wrong way round. The car park, please don't go down there. No, she's realised. It's one way around this car park and this beautiful red Fiat 500 with an older lady in, I thought was going to go the wrong way around the car park, and it's not an easy car park to navigate because it's quite a sharp bend. Anyway, she's fine. She's worked it out. Thank goodness. She's okay to be on the road. Gorgeous car. Anyway, this plant is a little bit larger than the pot that I was intending to buy a plant for. I think I may have a house plant problem. Do any of you have the same problem as me? I've mentioned before that I feel that we need to start some sort of houseplant addict anonymous group. I had this message that basically said, that is not a good idea, Cher, because what would end up happening is we would all turn up to the Houseplant Anonymous group, but we would secretly have cuttings or little seedlings or little houseplants to give one another. And the Houseplant Addict Anonymous group would become somewhat more of a problem. So as much as I love the idea of joining a group, I fear it may not be helpful. What do you think? Please let me know. Do you love houseplants? How many do you have? One of our subscribers calls them green pets. I think that's fantastic. I just know that they make me happy. Let's have a look at the temperature now, shall we? I'm going to bleep away, I'm sure. 7 degrees. So it is coming down again. We're on our way to Tesco. It's 4 p.m. and it's still light. I cannot believe it. It is definitely getting lighter. The days are longer. The official date for the start of spring is the 20th of March. So we have roughly a month left, but it's coming. Spring is on its way. Although, I'm not going to lie, I love the winter and I fully embrace all seasons. Pulled up at Tesco. The car park's quite empty. I'm going to race in. I can see the sun setting actually over there. It looks beautiful just over the top of the Tesco building. I'm going to race in, just get a few bits because I don't need a lot, and I'll see you when I'm back home. Home! Isn't it lovely to get home? I love getting home. They are going to look beautiful. It looks like we've made it back home before it's got too dark this evening. The night is drawing in, cars have got their car lights on, but the street lamps are not yet on. I think give it maybe another 20-25 minutes and they'll be on. I am in for the evening, and doesn't it always feel lovely when you know you've got an evening ahead of you? Probably given myself a few little jobs by going out today. As you know, I picked up those decorating bits and I'll share that with you hopefully next week. But also, looks like we're going to be doing some gardening early next week as well. As you know, I picked up these beautiful primroses. I picked them up all in the white off cream colour. I think because I just love neutral tones. Don't they look wonderful? I think they're going to be such a great addition to the balcony. 3 for £10 over in B&M. They did have lots of different colours, but I really did like the cream with the yellow, and I think along the balcony they'll look wonderful coming through and into spring. They're great because you can just dehead them and then they start to produce more and more flowers. They work really well along the balcony. I've had them before. So that's those. As you may have noticed, I have come home with a rather large plant, and now I need to hunt the home high and low for a plant pot the correct size. Gorgeous though, and I couldn't resist it. I did say that I'd share with you what I picked up over in the charity shop. If you know me quite well, you'll know that I love a basket, and there was something special about this one. I know what you're thinking. It does look very similar to the IKEA ones. Let's grab one because I'm going to prove to you that it is different. This is the IKEA one, great for dinner trays, and then here is my new one. I feel like this one will be beautiful to serve up drinks, having it on our coffee table, maybe with a candle and some nibbles, or if we're going back to bed and having coffee on the bed in the morning. I think this was a bargain at £2. I'm also thinking that this will look lovely, styled on the coffee table, maybe with a candle in a glass jar, my reading book and my glasses, possibly some little nibbles. I just think this is going to be an all-round great tray. I'll show you it up close. There really is something about this tray. If I saw this on the White Company website, it would be something that I would want to purchase. It's almost got a little bit of White Company vibes, or cottagecore, garden party, neutral loveliness. And I am so pleased that I've picked it up, albeit it was a little bit of a pain to buy, and I did go into the store 3 times. But isn't it great when you found something that you like, and also it has a little bit of a story to tell? Let's style it in there for now. I don't know what GB is going to think to me buying another straw wicker tray, but you can never have enough, can you? The last thing that I wanted to share with you was when I went into Tesco, I popped over to the F&F section and they had some more of the nightshirts. They did have them in a light blue. I wasn't keen on the light blue version, so I just picked up one that I've already got, and I absolutely love it. Well, the evening is upon us. The street lights have just come on. The candles are lit. The low lighting is on. I am ready for a super cozy night in. I've already got on my new nightshirt. I'm so pleased that they had more of these in stock. Thanks so much for spending another day with me. It really does feel like I'm spending the day with such close friends. Please do keep in touch. I love hearing from you. I love to know about your corner of the world, what the weather is like, what plans you've got over the weekend or the upcoming week. So however you keep in touch, whether it's through YouTube or through Instagram, or whether you like to email, please do let me know how you are. I will see you again on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Next week there is going to be some indoor gardening ready for the balcony. Of course, houseplants. Every week there's houseplants, and also a little bit of decorating. So I'll see you all on Wednesday. Bye for now.